Hi, this is Jim Ward from the band Sparta, and you're watching Buzznet. Like U2 started as a punk band. I started my life as a punk, you know? I mean, that's what I did. I played in punk bands, and through that, because, I mean, you know, U2 wanted to be the Clash. You know what I mean? I wanted to be U2 when I was a kid, and the Clash, you know? So, part of my life is always going to be punk rock, even though, you know, I mean, there's punk rock costumes, there's punk rock lifestyle, and there's punk rock ethics, and there's punk rock ways of living. And I carry with me the ethics and the humility, I think, that comes from punk rock, from my punk rock, the punk rock that I love, the stuff that I grew up listening to. So I think I'll always be kind of part of that community. And, you know, Tom Waits is the punkest person out there. You know what I mean? And he doesn't scream.
What is the song that you are most proud of having written?
There's this song on the new record called The Most Vicious Crime, which is, it's kind of a long song, and it's sort of built in a trilogy, and it's really using the same chords, but we changed each section to feel differently. And I'm really proud of the way that it came off and that it can be carried. And the lyrics are all fiction, but it's sort of about somebody that is sort of has done everything people asked them to do and really tried to follow the guidelines that were set for them, whether it be parents or college or whatever. But in this case, I think the person there's somebody specific in this person's life that really pushed them to do something, and they've sort of snapped now. And it's called The Most Vicious Crime because the whole song is about how they're going to run their life into the ground, like really premeditated. And there's like lines like, I'll steal your lies and I'll bleed your cries, and it's kind of visually evil. And I really like it for some reason. A music review, to me, you have to take with, the thing is, if you brag about the good ones, then you got to brag about the bad ones. You don't have to brag about them, but I think it's only fair. And I think you got to put it in context of this is one person that listened to the record and is now trying to explain to people that they should or should not own this album. And it's pretty weird to me that they do that, because bad ones they hurt my feelings. Good ones make me feel happy. But I have to take them both with a grain of salt, because if I didn't, then I would start making records to please one person, which is impossible.
So I also was reading about this movie that you guys made.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about this movie? Sure.
This movie it's a 16-minute film. It was shot on 16mm film, and it's also 16 minutes long. And it is it's sort of the account of our drummer Tony Hajar, who was born and raised in Beirut, Lebanon. Well, not raised. He lived there till he was 5. There's a civil war in Beirut, basically between Muslims and Christians. Yeah, so they fled Lebanon and they moved to El Paso, where they had some family. And his mother passed away of cancer, and his father sort of split, and he was raised by his brother and sister, basically. And the story is just kind of about him and sort of how music was his escape. And
what's it called?
It's called Eme Nakia. Eme means my mother, and Nakia was his mom. And I'm really proud of him for doing it, because it's a pretty vulnerable thing to do.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole idea behind it is that it gives people hope. Because at the end of the movie, he kind of wakes up and he's him, and he's walking out to play a show.
Where can I see it?
You can. It comes with, if you buy the record at Best Buy, it comes with that only right now, and then later on it'll be released separately as like a theatrical short film.
What would you encourage your fans to listen to that might not necessarily be something that they would associate with you?
I've recently just been getting into like Cole Porter and Thelonious Monk.
Cole Porter is one of the greatest.
Yeah, and again, I don't know anything about it, and for a long time I just basically avoid jazz or talking about jazz, because I felt like, especially with jazz, people are really like,
yeah, you gotta know it or you gotta.
Yeah, and they're like, you can't be half-assed jazz fan or whatever. And then I decided, you know what, fuck them. Like, they can't tell me what I can or can't listen to, or if like I can or can't talk about it, you know. And so I asked somebody who has like a huge collection, like, can you just make me a list of 10 things that I can go out and buy that will start me off in the right direction?
So what do you think is your biggest accomplishment to date as a band? Is it the record? Is it the movie? Is it what?
I think that the biggest accomplishment is that we made another record. Is that we're still doing what we do, and we're growing and getting better, I think. Because it's really easy, especially, I mean, I've been on tour since I was 18, basically off and on. I'm 30, so for 12 years I've been doing this. I've made 7 records.
Wow.
And I have a family at home. So in order to continue doing this, I need it to be amazing, and I need to believe in it 100%. And the fact that I still believe in it enough to be here is enough for me to be proud of that.